Alright, fellow programmers of the zombie apocalypse, this is lesson 6 of C++ programming, using math in our programs. This lesson is going to be split into two parts. The first part is, well, this part here, and this is going to be the lecture portion of it, and the next part of it is when we're going to do our demo. Programs are going to grow a little bit, so it might be necessary to split lessons up into 2 or 3 parts, which is okay with me. I'd rather go over things eloquently and fully than try to cram everything into 10 minutes. Alright, in this lesson we're going to learn how to use math in our programs. We're going to learn the difference between integer and double division. There's a distinct difference there. And we are going to learn about the modulus operator, or the mod operator. It's really a neat operator. It throws a lot of people the first time they see it. And the first couple times they use it, they really don't get why it's there until they actually realize what it does and how useful it can be. Alright, in our programs, we have standard math operators that we all probably know, or probably should know at this point. Addition, subtraction, multiplication is indicated by the asterisk symbol. Division is indicated by the / symbol. So if I have to multiply like 3 times 2, it's going to be 3 asterisk 2 to indicate multiplication. If I have to divide 10 by 5, it's going to be 10 / 5. Alright, and we should be familiar with these operations and such as that. The order of operations, just to review a little bit of math, the order of operations is very important, the way in which we do things. We do things in order from left to right, and in this order here. So we have parentheses. Anything in parentheses is executed first. We have exponents. If you're not familiar with exponents, it's basically a big number with a little number to the upper right-hand corner of it. Alright, and if you don't know what exponents are, you might want to consult a math book or something like that and find out what they are if you're not too sure. Again, multiplication, then we do division, addition, and subtraction in order from left to right. And one thing I really want to note here, and this is where a lot of beginning programmers kind of mess up, is that the multiplication and division are pure operators, which means if I have 3 multiplied by 2 divided by 4 or whatever like that, I'm going to do the multiplication first because the multiplication was the leftmost operation, and then I'm going to divide that result by whatever number would I say, 4 or something like that. Addition and subtraction are the same way. They are pure operators, so you handle addition and subtraction from left to right at the same time. You don't do all the addition and then come back and do the subtraction. That's not the way you do it. Alright, if you're not sure about order of operations, consult a math text, but it's very important to know this because, like I said, this is where a lot of beginning programmers mess up. Their code compiles, but it just doesn't work right because they have a logic error in there. Maybe they multiplied where they should have divided, or they multiplied. They don't expect the answer that they get because they don't realize that they're multiplying and then they're adding something to it. They think that 3 plus 2 divided by 2 should equal, what, 3? But in all reality, it equals, well, 3 in this case. But, you see what I mean. It can get real hairy real quick. One important concept that we need to understand is the data types and how the numbered data types handle division. Alright, now we've used integers in our programs and we've used double data types in our program as well. Alright, remember our bullets are considered integers and our doubles are considered, well, you can have a decimal point after it, right? So I can have 3.2 of something if the data type is double. If the data type is integer, I can have 4, I can have 5, I can have whole number increments because that's what an integer is. Integer division, for example, if I have 5 divided by 2, or if my variables are both integers, integer x and integer y, 5 divided by 2 is going to be equal to 2, right? Because that's an integer. If you have 2 integers going in, you get an integer going out. If my data types are doubles, then 5.0 divided by 2.0 equals 2.5. Okay, because I have two doubles going in, so I get a double going out. Okay. Now, one important thing to remember about this is if one number is an integer, then the answer will be an integer. Alright, so just keep that in mind as you're doing this stuff, because a lot of people mess this up and they don't expect, again, they just don't expect the answer to get. And I'd like to know, I like to forewarn people of problems they're going to have in this area. Now, one of the weirdest operations that you get that we don't see in normal math at all, well, we see it in normal math, but we just don't call it this, and that is the modulus operator. Okay, the modulus operator returns the remainder of an integer division operation. Alright, so, and it's represented using the percent symbol, which makes it even weirder. Okay, so if I have 3 modulus 2, I am basically asking what is the remainder when 3 is divided by 2? Well, 2 goes into 3 one time with a remainder of 1. Okay, so 3 modulus 2 is equal to 1, because 1 is the remainder of the operation. It's not the quotient, it's not the answer, it's the remainder. Okay, so if I had 7 modulus 4, the answer would be 3, because 4 goes into 7 one time with 3 left over, so the remainder is 3. Alright, and I would really get used to this modulus operator, which we're going to see in our demo. Don't worry, we're going to cover it. But just keep in mind that it returns the remainder of an integer division operation. And this term here, integer, is really, really, really important. Let me just, here we go, ballpoint pen. Let me kind of underline that. There we go. You can't return a remainder with double data types. Okay, because they already have a decimal point figured in, just like you can't return a remainder of a decimal number. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't make sense as far as that goes. Our demo for this lesson is going to involve the following. Let me see, next slide. There we go. It's going to add the number of bullets and sandwiches both of us have, because if you remember, we left off our last program by knowing how many sandwiches we have and bullets we have, and we ask the user for input of how many sandwiches and bullets they have. We're going to divide the number of bullets and sandwiches evenly among us, and we are going to use the modulus operator to determine how many bullets are left. And I'm going to work some error into this code. We might get a couple compiler errors. It's by design. I'm going to start showing you guys what some error messages look like and how to decipher what's going on and stuff like that, because I think up till now our demos have been kind of a perfect world scenario, and we're going to step outside of that, and we're going to find out about error messages and stuff. And it doesn't hurt to make mistakes. The only time you don't want to make a mistake is when you're landing an airplane or when you're disarming a bomb. Alright, so I'm going to see you guys in part 2 of lesson 6, and we're going to go over a demo of how to use math in our programs. Alright, I look forward to seeing you in part 2. If you guys have any questions about any of the previous lessons, go back, watch the video again. Sometimes if you watch a video and you really don't know what's going on, if you watch maybe the video before that video and that video again, it helps out. Alright, don't be afraid to review. Very few people catch everything the first time through. Alright, I look forward to seeing you guys in lesson 2. Have fun.